Hello, beautiful ones. I hope you are doing well today. Something that I want to speak about today is prejudice and racism. Just to touch on this. Now, I am a Scottish and Native American woman in America. My children are biracial with African American descent. I have experienced massive rejection and disgrace from this choice that I made. I've never felt as though I was different from anyone of any color. Now, I did choose men that were extremely abusive due to my own upbringing with the parental relationships that were modeled for me and the way that I was treated by my father and still am to this day. Racism and prejudice started a long time ago, obviously. The superiority and inferiority of the races is something that has echoed throughout time and has caused disastrous implications on our country and on us as a people. Now, I want to talk about the Willie Lynch indoctrination just in short. I have spoken of this before, and I'm sorry for the bumpy ride. I'm on the interstate. Speaking about prejudice and racism. Okay. So, the Willie Lynch indoctrination was something that was created by a slave trader, a Barbadian slave trader, to assist the American population with controlling their uprising of slaves. So the first thing that I want to speak on is that the black slaves were told that they were going to speak a funny new language and sing a funny new song and dress differently. So things that we think are actually our own ideas about black and white people, how, black people have a specific lingo, they're dressing in louder colors, their music is obviously much different than ours. Just a news flash, that was created by slave traders to make black people inferior and white people superior, to create differences and make them bigger. In addition to reversing roles of relationships, of actually pitting the older black male and the younger black male against each other by creating the woman in an emasculated place where she's strong and independent as the grandmother is the head of the household, by keeping the black man's mind weak. One of the ways the black man's mind was kept weak was through emasculating him through the relationships, making the black woman the perfect worker for the white man, so she could eat out of the palm of the black man's hand. And this was legitimately in the indoctrination. Another way was to beat down the man through the system. And in these days, this is the crack laws, this is mass incarceration, further emasculating and creating a massive femininity and an underlying tone of homosexuality within the black male population, again, to keep his mind weak. Also, this is a big one. A way was created for the black woman to have an overprotective tendency over her black male offspring. This is creating a way for him to be weak as well, as he has an overwhelming dependency on his mother. His relationships with the feminine weren't too positive because the mother role had been distorted. And so by emasculating the man and keeping him in a weak spot, he would never uprise to realize true potential. The fact is, we're not different. Our colors are different. We come from a different part of the world, but we are not different. We are all human. But there are some humans that have a larger calling than others: black, white, red, yellow. From the beginning of time, there has been a prophecy over the world, and this involved black and white. So when you see Mother Mary in black of the Illuminati Freemason symbolism, this does represent something. This represents the veil over the truth. And in addition to the racism prejudice part of this, there's also a severe hatred of the feminine. So you'll see a lot more masculine feminines, a lot of transgender confusion, and this is all based on control. So to keep us under control, to keep superiority and inferiority going within the races was of utmost importance. And the indoctrination by Willie Lynch was strongly supported. Willie Lynch loved King James because King James' hand on the biblical knowledge that we have today and is so firmly believed in has created a brainwashing where people are not looking further for information. The knowledge of the internet in your face versus actual text has created so much manipulation within our minds and within ourselves. The division between each other of trying to be superior, inferior, to have fear and envy of each other was only created to keep us under control and in fear. When you shed that fear and you become to have an understanding of your standing, that we are not different, that we are one, and if we could unite in unity, that this love would create a bigger positive wave than all this hatred has. There needs to be no more division, no more conflict, and it all comes from this superiority of other factions over each other, whatever race, whatever religion, whatever belief system. We're better than yours, we're going to snuff you out. That is all created by a dark presence that's been on this earth for far too long. The light is rising, and it is time to be open to new understanding and new knowledge. Now, in the prior video, I spoke of things in biblical texts that I found that were much older than the Bible that you're reading. Yes, so there is an end of times. Yes, the end is near. But what the modern day biblical text leaves out is that there is also another beginning. The Hindu religion, the actual swastika is a holy sign stolen by those that want to promote hatred and division. This actually separates, the swastika separates different ages that we are going to go through. After the end of ages that will occur, which there will be massive disaster and there will be a lot of death, however, there will be supernatural occurrences relating to the ones that are chosen. Specifically the chosen one first, the Queen of Heaven, Our Lady of Sorrows, Isis, Astarte, Inanna, the Messiah, her. These occurrences will occur, but after the Tower of Babel has fallen, they will occur because there's been a delay. But the message is to get this message out that we are not different and we must unite in love.